In a city dedicated to progress, Greenmead stands as a monument to Livonia's past. Greenmead has been the site of centralizing Livonia's history since its purchase in 1976. This 95-acre site is located at 8 Mile and Newburgh Roads, and as a public park, it is open year-round for visitors to attend. Greenmead provides visitors the opportunity to step back in time, preserving significant historical structures from 1829 to 1937. Joshua Simmons was the third person to purchase land in what was then called Buckland Township. He purchased 157.6 acres in 1825. This area was renamed Livonia Township in 1835. After purchasing his land, Joshua returned to New York and worked for 2 years. In January of 1826, he married Hannah Machomer, and in September they started their journey to Michigan via the Erie Canal. They named their property Meadowbrook Farm and built a 3-sided log cabin. On November 18, 1827, Richmond Clark Simmons was born, the first of 7 children. He is believed to be the first white child born in the township. In 1829, Joshua built a barn on his property, which still stands today. This was the first frame barn in Livonia. The Greek Revival-style main residence was built in 1841 by local architect-builder Sturgis P. Lyon. Today this is known as the Simmons Hill House. Meadowbrook Farm remained in the family for 4 generations until 1915. In 1920, Sherwin and Jean Hill purchased Meadowbrook Farm from Ella Goebel and the Rackhams. They spent a year restoring and remodeling the home. The property was renamed Greenmead after Mrs. Hill's childhood home in Baltimore, Maryland. They also added the South Barn to the property, the greenhouse, and the caretaker's cottage, located at the Victor Parkway entrance. Mrs. Hill had Greenmead Farm placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1971. The Simmons Hill House and its 9 dependency buildings derives its historic significance from the completeness of the setting that typifies the way of life long ago vanished from the Detroit metropolitan area. The Simmons Hill House was restored in 2012 and is open during our Sunday tours for guests to enjoy. Before Greenmead, the city of Livonia had another museum site known as Quaker Acres. The Historical Society was established in 1956, and then the Historical Commission in 1958. When the Quaker Acres site became available, the Society urged the city to buy the property, and after it was purchased in 1962, plans begun to turn the house into a museum, and the collection of artifacts began. When the Shaw House was in danger of demolition due to the building of I-275, the Society and Commission raised funds to move it to Quaker Acres site. Soon after, the AJ Gear Store and DUR Waiting Room were purchased and moved as well. A site plan was developed for the 5-acre site, and the city began acquiring adjacent land. The museum finally opened in 1975, but a year later, Greenmead became available, and the city purchased this property to develop a new historical village. In 1976, the Gear Store and the DUR Waiting Room were moved to Greenmead, followed by the Newburgh Church, Parsonage, and Kingsley House in 1977. In 1979, the Alexander Blue House and Bungalow were moved to Greenmead. In 1981, the Friends Meeting House and Shaw House were relocated to Greenmead. The Cranston-Hinburn House was donated by the Southland Corporation and moved in 1985. This building now serves as the gift shop, which is open during our special events, Sunday tour days, and can be open for shopping during the week, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. The Newburgh School was moved in 1987, completing the Newburgh intersection. The school is available for teachers to utilize for their students to have a day in a one-room schoolhouse type experience. The latest move was that of the Nankin Mills School, which was built by Henry Ford and opened to students in 1937. Fundraising efforts to restore this building are currently underway. The Friends Meeting House dates to 1846 and is one of the oldest existing meeting houses in the state of Michigan. Local interest in this house is heightened by the fact that many of the first settlers in the area were Quakers. Kingsley and Shaw, both built in 1843, are examples of Greek Revival architecture, built by men with different income levels. Nathan Kingsley was a farmer of average means, earning approximately $500 per year. John Shaw was a well-to-do farmer with an income of $7,000. Period furnishings have been used to recreate the interior of these homes and to give the public a feel for life in the 1850s. Greenmead was designed to showcase Livonia Township over time. The western edge of the village represents the 1850s time period. The front section of the Cranston Hindenburg House was built about 1850 and later remodeled. The rear section of the house was constructed using whole log joists and was built prior to 1850. The buildings in the village follow a chronological order as they lead to the intersection of Newburgh and Ann Arbor Trail, recreating as it looked in the late teens and early 1920s. The settlement of Newburgh has been carefully preserved in great detail, with the A.J. Gear General Store, the DUR Waiting Room, Newburgh Church, its parsonage, a bungalow-style home, and Newburgh School. With these 6 buildings, Greenmead has preserved a complete example of a crossroad village community. The Alexander Blue House is an adaptive reuse building restored to its 1870s exterior appearance. It currently serves as the Greenmead office on the 2nd floor and a rental facility on the main floor. Greenmead also hosts a variety of events and fundraisers throughout the year. For more information on our events, please visit greenmead.us or like us on Facebook.